Good morning guys, Jamie here. I thought I would show you something I worked on yesterday. Now I do understand I'm a bit all over the place with what I'm doing, but it's, oh, that was my squeaky chair. It's because I'm new to junk journaling, so I see a video that someone else has done and I get all excited and want to go off and do that. Can't actually remember who did this one, but I do link all my kind of influencers, if you like, in my description, so that you can go have a look at what they're doing if you find all of this interesting. I'm certainly totally in love with it. Let me just move that. That's my microphone wire, which I normally have just sellotaped out the way. Something I realised was that actually, if I look through my camera lens and then put some sellotape on my desk as to your viewing area, then I have a much better idea of what you can see. Obviously I can zoom in and zoom out, but I noticed in some of my videos I'd actually gone out of the viewing area, and no amount of zooming in is going to make a lot of difference. So what I started doing yesterday, completely away from everything else I was doing, so I will go back to what I was doing, I know, is I decided that all these crafters had these amazing albums where they put all their tiny little stickers that they get from China, which I also have some of, which are just sitting in a drawer, really hard to find what I've got. And what they've done is they've got photo albums, they've got strips of plastic, like little pockets, and they put their stickers in there and they can just flick through. I didn't want to use some old photo albums that I've got for that because they have beautiful covers, because they're from China. I bought them in China, and if I'm going to use them, I will use them for an actual, I will rip out the innards and use them as an actual journal for somebody because the covers are just too beautiful, and they're big, they're huge. I don't know who would want a journal that big, but somebody might. They're not so fat. So I didn't want to do that, so I have a lot of books, particularly cookery books, because of my business, and I am doing a lot of filming today because I'm also filming for my business. So I took one of those cookery books and ripped the guts out of it according to some instructions. I did go slightly wrong on some pages, but I will show you what I've done. I have ripped the guts out of this book and taken the cover off. It was a Nigella Lawson book. Sorry Nigella, I do love you. Honestly, I really love Nigella Lawson. I think she's gorgeous, and I think her food looks gorgeous, and I have made some of her recipes. But I did like, so what they do is they rip the guts out of a book and they glue some pages together to make it, see, this is very ASMR-y, isn't it, to make it a lot stronger. And the way you do it is you take a signature and you take the central pages, you keep those, and you keep the two back pages of the signature and you rip out the other pages. There are videos on that, so I didn't do that bit on camera. I can do if anyone wants me to. I want to use this as my storage for my stickers. So some of this is already kind of collaged and quite beautiful to me, so I'm not going to touch those. I will maybe put sticker sheets, not on this one because that's very stiff, but on this one. But I will collage with scraps things like this, which is the crustless pizza, because I don't necessarily want that as a backing to my stickers. So what I'm going to be doing is, I did find somewhere, I've got to lean down to find it now, some old extra inserts for scrapbooking, which I no longer do. So I thought these cut up would make see-through rows that you could put stickers into. I got one out ready to cut up, and now I don't know what I've done with it. So I thought what we would just do is take my ever increasing, despite the fact I'm using it all the time, box of scraps to create a new background for this, and then I can dry it off and maybe put my plastic across and create the sticker sheet. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I'm just going to basically rip and tear pieces of paper together and cover. Now, something else I often use, just grab it, is wax paper or kitchen paper, greaseproof paper, parchment paper underneath where I'm sticking, so that I don't, because I'm not very good with glue, I'm not very good with paper, and I'm not very good at cutting. So why I'm doing this, I've no idea. So that I've got somewhere to, it doesn't go onto the pages underneath. Right, so I am just going to take some of these scraps and basically rip and tear and just create a pattern. I am just going to use PVA glue, which is going to make my paper wrinkle, of course. I'm going to spread it about a bit. I did have a brush for this last night when I was gluing these pages together, and then of course I didn't wash it out. So it doesn't matter if glue goes on this bit, because I'm going to be gluing a bit more. So this is all I'm going to be doing, but we can have a chat or whatever. The weather has broken now in the UK, so it was incredibly hot yesterday, and this office faces the afternoon, early evening sun. So I got up early today thinking I cannot, because last night I was actually sweating in here. I do have a fan, but I didn't bother to pull it out and plug it in. And I was not dying, but I was really hot, and I thought, I do not want to be doing that again. I've lost my little, well, lost, it'll be somewhere, my little thing with the sponge on, which means that I don't rip the paper as much when I do this, but hey, I can't find it. So this is just making it adhere better, and also an attempt. And I'm only going to say attempt because I was using this yesterday and failed dramatically on these pages, to move glue into corners that I've missed, but also stop too many glue bubbles. Anyway, it was super hot here yesterday, and I was vaguely dying. I think I'm gonna have to, I'm trying to line it all up. Does it matter if I have lines? I don't think it does. So I'm actually quite pleased the weather's broken, but as long as we don't now have, I'm just putting that on a piece of wax paper that you can't see, by the way. That's just a stamping sponge disappearing. I'm not trying to make this pretty. I might take part in one of these challenges in this book and then put, yeah, that might be an idea, and then put the plastic sheets on the top. I've yet to work out if I'm actually going to be able to glue plastic to this successfully, but, and I was googling it, as you do, last night, what glue's good for plastic, and all glues seem to be okay for plastic. But then I thought, well, what about just double-sided tape, because that seems a lot less messy, and I can always put washi over the joins to make that prettier. So I don't think that's going to matter too much. Getting sticky already. I don't know if there's any bit of this I want to show through. I don't think so. So I'm going off the edge because I will trim up that later when it's a bit drier. Just make sure it's all down and give it another little run along. I suppose every time I do this I'm helping myself. So yeah, the UK, it was pouring when I woke up this morning, and of course I'd left the garden room. I call it the garden room because I'm posh. It's just a room I had built last year to look a bit like a tropical, not bar, well I suppose bar, but I don't actually have a bar in it. So it's all sort of reeds but painted white over the old patio, which has these concertina doors. The builder's quite clever, and I think I'm just going to end up with vertical horizontal stripes, aren't I? I wasn't going to use this, true, but I do have that edge which is wrinkly, and I could just cut a straight line. I might do that. So this is then a straight piece of scrap, a straightish line, because I can't cut lines. So So I had the builder build that. Anyway, I got up this morning, and of course it had been left open overnight, so the cat had come in and was asleep on one of the chairs, and the floor was getting nicely wet, but it was cool in there because it has been really hot in there, even with the doors open to the garden, because that was the idea, that you could open the doors, have somewhere shady to sit, work even, you know, on the computer, a bit of shade, because you can never see a computer screen in the sun, and, you know, enjoy the summer when we have it. That was the idea of the room. Anyway, that's what I came into this morning. A cool, slightly damp room with a cat in it, because she'd found her way in. Slightly better than the cat, by the way. I'm a dog person, generally. I do like all animals, but I'm a dog person. But the cat kind of adopted us. She was a stray, and she was hanging around our garden for ages and ages. And I kept seeing her on the garden furniture. This was last summer. And I kept seeing her on the garden furniture, so eventually we just sort of gave her some milk and a bit of food or whatever. I'm keep knocking that, so I've pinned this out the way, and now it's in my way, the microphone wire, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about. So we gave her a bit of food, and we took her to we caught her, if you like, took her to the vets. Oh my goodness, I keep knocking it with this brush. And she was microchipped, so they hung on to her for 7 days. This is in the middle of the pandemic, of course, to try and contact the owners, but the 2 phone numbers she was microchipped to had been disconnected. They were registered in a town miles away, so they waited, nothing happened. So my daughter kind of insisted we adopt this cat, and she'd already been on Amazon and bought loads of cat things. This is my oldest daughter, and that's a bit of a sticker, so I don't think I'll use that. So we ended up adopting this cat, who had been a little bit wild. Does it really matter if it goes from modern to old? I think it might. I might stick with a sort of more modern theme. So we adopted this cat. Anyway, eventually the vets contacted us saying they had actually, the post had been forwarded, because they'd written to these people. They checked the cat shelters. There'd been nobody looking for a cat. You know, nobody had been looking for a cat. So the cat shelter said we could just keep her rather than them take her in and then us have to go collect her after another 7 days or whatever it might be. Wish I hadn't done that now. Oh, it doesn't matter, I'm collaging, aren't I? So anyway, the vet contacted me to say, well, the owners have now been in contact, you know, they got the letter and they want the cat. And I was like, well, we've had her now 20 odd days, like 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm not being funny, but they hadn't put posters up, they hadn't contacted the local vets to say their cat was missing, otherwise our vet would have had a notice, because ours is the local, you know, the nearest vets. They hadn't contacted any of the cat shelters, no notices in like village boards or anything. Not that I'm in a village, but it used to be a village, it's a suburb now, so it still has that kind of village boards and things for information on the local sort of shops, corner shops. So I said no, they can't have the cat now because she's been microchipped to us. You know, we changed the microchip details, but the vets were happy to do. We've paid for any treatment she needs. We've bought all this stuff for her, including Princess Cat Tower, as I call it, the biggest cat tower available on Amazon, which I paid for because I'm soft, even though I don't like cats. She's going to stay with us. But this cat, oh my God, this cat is a hunter. Yeah, so every 2 to 3 weeks, and my daughter is at uni, I come into my kitchen to discover either a live mouse being chased around, a dead bird, bits of wing. Like yesterday, it was only yesterday I think, and this normally happens after dark, but it was the middle of the afternoon and the cat came up to me. I was making coffee, as I do regularly Anyone who knows me knows I drink endless coffee. And the cat came up to me meowing away, and I thought, he can't be hungry. She's getting really quite fat with us. I mean, it's been a year now, and I've no idea what you feed, how much you feed cats. So I just like fill up her bowl. I've no idea. Anyway, she was meowing away, meowing away. I went to go and get the milk, and there was this brown bird like this size, dead in the utility, because the utility is where I keep the fridge and the freezer. So I was thinking, oh, for once I do not have to clean this up, because my daughter is back from uni for a few days, taking a break because they're in lockdown again. They've had a few more cases at their uni than people are happy with. So I thought, right, I do not have to deal with this for once, so I'm not going to. So I called her through and made her get rid of it, even though she was fussing, going, can't you do it, can't you do it? I was like, oh, bloody cat. We wouldn't even have this cat. I'd have happily left it at the vet's. You know, I mean, she's a nice cat, but the dog, it sends the dog crackers. The dog keeps trying to play with her. She hisses at him. You know, it's all a bit chaotic. But yeah, we now have a cat for the first time in years. I have had cats before, but in my 20s, when I lived in apartments, ground floor ones, and you couldn't easily, and worked full time and things, so you couldn't easily have, I'm just trying to find modern scraps here. This is quite nice. It's not that scrappy, but I quite fancy putting that flower in here anyway, because otherwise it's getting a little bit boring. So I am going to do this one. So yeah, dead birds in my house, or live mice, or whatever. I can't stand it when the mice are kind of just stunned and injured, and it's me, and I have to sort of work out how I'm going to cope with this mouse. This is beginning to actually come, even though there is no plan and the colours do not necessarily go, it's kind of coming together anyway, I think. So yeah, not my favourite thing. I'm going to do this one first, and I'm going to go right across probably, just to fill in the space quickly, because after all, this is just a practical, squidge some more of that on that wax paper. This is just a practical thing that I can use. What was I saying? I'm still bashing that wire. I hope it's not affecting the sound too much. I'll try to not do it. I can't remember what I was saying now. Oh yeah, I've advertised. What else has been going on? So I've been doing up one of the bedrooms. Well, it was the gym. Then the gym moved outside to like a cabin area with a drum room for my son. I know, I spoil them, I really do. Anyway, so what was the gym was then available, so I've done it up as a guest bedroom, and it's huge. It's probably bigger than my actual bedroom, because it used to be the garage. I don't have a use for a garage, so I'm not bothered about that sort of thing. My car always sits on the driveway, and I've got plenty of storage in this house, because where I've remodelled it and remodelled it and remodelled it, the one thing I'm keen on having is built-in shelves, built-in storage, things sitting back, like all the TVs have been built into, like I've had stud walls put up so the TV can sit back, and then shelves either side, that sort of thing. I'm a bit obsessed with cleanish lines. So where's that little thing? There it is. So anyway, I've got this spare room now, so I've been kind of doing that up and making that look nice, like floor down, walk-in wardrobe. There is a spare bathroom, which was only remodelled a year ago, and no one's been allowed to use it. Like, we've got 3 bathrooms, and I just said no, you can't use this, because you tend to wreck things, even though they're now older teenagers. They'll still do stupid stuff like dye their hair and get hair dye everywhere, and it doesn't always come out. So it's got a brand new bathroom in it that's never been used by humans. And I've also got, as well as this garden room, which is also a cinema room, I never explained that. So something I did was because I suppose because of the pandemic, I was missing going. We had been cinema card holders, you know, where you can go unlimited amounts of time in the month for a set membership. And I was missing being able to go to the cinema, and I think the kids particularly were missing that, because even if I didn't go that much, they did. You know, they would go and spend a whole day in town watching several films, booking them in, and then going and watching more than one in a day, like spend the whole day in the cinema, which is kind of one way to kill some time, isn't it? So I had, in this garden room, I had the doors added because they weren't originally on, and then I realised in wet weather the rain was driving in and ruining the furniture in there. Even though it's sort of rattan-y garden furniture, I've put loads of throws and things on. So I had the doors added, and then I bought a projector and a screen, and so at night you can close it down, turn all the bar lights, you know, the ceiling little light bulby bar lights off, and watch a movie. So we have the lounge, kitchen, breakfast room, which is quite big, which we literally have only used at Christmas now, last year, because of this new cinema room. Oh, what about some spots? Can I get away with some spots? I think so. I think I can. I might even, can I do like levels? I don't know. I might just do the spots here, kind of joining onto that bit. So we've got, therefore, this conservatory. I'm getting there on this story. So we've got this conservatory that we use as basically a big corridor to the garden room, because the garden room's off the conservatory. So I have done that up, put some spare sofas. Yes, I even have spare sofas, not very interesting ones, some throws, a little two-person breakfast bar-y table thing, a small TV which was already in there, some storage in there. And what I also did was, although it had blinds all the way around, it didn't have blinds on the doors to the conservatory, and it didn't have blinds on the doors to the kitchen lounge. So I've just got some of those very cheap IKEA paper blinds and added those, put some side lights in there. I took the fan out that doesn't work, but my builder has literally just left it with a load of wires hanging from the ceiling, which is not very attractive, so I need to do something with that. However, basically the room is ready to let, and I don't know if I want checks and checks, and I've got checks that side. I might do it down there, but I need something else here that's also scraps. So the builder has basically, although that's a whole piece, it's quite nice. And I could just do another flower. I don't know what whole pieces are doing in my scrap box, by the way. So yesterday, I'm getting to the point of the story, I actually managed to get round. Should I do it downwards or that way? No, that way is too similar. That way's kind of cute. That way's kind of cute because it brings your eye up to this bit. I think that way. So I advertised it, but I'm not advertising it particularly. I do need the money, don't get me wrong. I need some extra monthly income, but I looked at the prices people were charging for double rooms with an ensuite and you know, share kitchen or whatever, and it was quite a bit. I mean, sometimes it's written down as a weekly amount, but if you then times that by 52 and then divide by 12, you get what is basically the per calendar month amount. Now, the only mistake I may have made in doing the advert is that I've put it per calendar month and it looks a lot. Whereas if I did it weekly, it would look comparable to what everyone else is charging. So I may go in and edit it to change it to a weekly amount. I just thought, because I don't want students, I want professionals. and older, because I'm older and I don't need youngsters in and out partying. So I'm just thinking like people either moving to the area for new jobs, or like teachers or whatever, who haven't sold houses or are looking to find their own kind of, oh, that's nice, but I've already started to get quite a few circles down here, and I was going to do some more of this, wasn't I? So I might do this here, but I'm going to tear it. So the only mistake, so I've advertised that on this website called Spare Rooms, because I couldn't see agents in the area who tend to handle it, because I would rather somebody else handled it, so that if I ended up with someone who was a pain in the backside, they would kick them out, you know, and it wouldn't be down to little old me to do it, because I can be a bit of a soft touch. So that's the one thing I might change about the advert, is change it to, I'm still hunting for scraps, a weekly, what's that? You see, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm going, what's that? Okay, yeah. I haven't done that too, no I haven't. Just checking I hadn't done that too small. So that's one thing I've done. That's one thing I managed to achieve yesterday in this piping heat. The other thing I managed to do was, like I say, create this book, which I'm now decorating. And that is about all I managed to achieve yesterday. Sorry, my arm keeps coming across while I glue up this piece of paper. I should really put it somewhere else so you don't keep seeing my arm coming across the page. Am I still within my filming lines? No. See, I put that on there to help me, and so you could see what I was doing, and I've already come out of them. I don't think I'm in them at all, actually. I don't even know if you're seeing any of this. May have to edit this heavily. Ugh. Well, all bright ideas. Was it? Of Mice and Men or something? Just went to waste there because I didn't stick to anything that I'd actually set up, and probably went out of the filming thing. There you go. I don't know if you really need to do this when you're just sticking stickers in here, but I suppose it's just a bit more. That all looks a bit weird to me, but never mind. And something has just dropped on the floor and I've no idea what. More scraps. I've got so much in the way of scraps. What's this? Oh, it's an actual bit of card. Old cardstock. It's quite nice. That might make a pocket for something. I'll put that to one side. More scraps, more scraps. What have I got? That's old-fashioned, although I hate it as a pattern. So I'm just wondering, can I shove it in there anyway? Like have a chicken in there. Kind of goes with the colour, doesn't it? I hate that particular paper. I don't know why. I'm not very big. I know I love Victoriana, but I'm not very big on Victoriana when it involves children. Makes it sound like I don't like children. Well, I don't particularly. I have 3. It's enough to put anyone off. I never did particularly like them before I even had 3 of my own. 3 of my own just confirmed that I don't particularly like them. Joking. Now, I just was never a kid person, so I do not coo over, you know, each to their own, but I don't coo over Victoriana featuring chubby cheek children. Personally, not my thing. I just seem to be building up more scraps. Oh no, that's all that seems to be happening as a result of this. I was going to put some of this down. Oh, that's going to cover my chicken now. I quite like the chicken. It's the child I'm not bothered about. I'm wondering if I put that there, if I've got like something little that isn't too boring. I mean, I should have little scraps in here because it literally is Scrap City. I don't want to, like I said, I don't really want to cover up the chicken. So can I do it like that maybe? I think I can. I know it's weird. It's weird. It's not very combined or anything like that. This is just like relaxation video. This is maybe just going to help you get to sleep. Just relax. I'll chat. You can just doze off. You're not going to miss anything exciting happening. Maybe I should put the title up as fall asleep whilst watching craft. Right, close your eyes, chill. I've just gone over those stitches, didn't want to do that. Maybe that's how I should advertise it. Anyway, you can see the sort of idea of, as it's coming together. It's certainly taking off the idea of a quiche or whatever that one. No, it was a crustless something, wasn't it? Pizza. So I've got this green. I'm getting very green down here, aren't I? And there's yellow and blue and all sorts up there. So maybe, although that's a plain piece, that's plain. That's a green and a blue, although I've already got that. Yeah. Ooh. What about a bit of that? Yeah, why not? I know I've got straight edges and torn edges here. And I know I keep doing this off camera as well. I will get used to this filming where I can't see what you're seeing. I do it all the time for the cooking videos, but for some reason I'm standing up when I do those, and I don't know, I'm so used to doing those, and I'm not going to knock anything or not film. Well, it does occasionally happen that I forget to hit record, but not very often. And then sometimes the cooking videos are missing a step, which is annoying because they are actually something I sort of get paid to do. But this filming craft and you being able to see what I'm doing is kind of weird because it's more, although it's not live, it is more live action than what I actually normally do. Although again, it only involves my hands. Oh, I've had some funny requests regarding my hands. So a lot of personal trainers are male. And they say things like, well, no one's going to believe it's me because you've got nails on and jewellery on. So would you mind removing your nails and taking off your jewellery? And I'm like, yes. Because even if I do that, I don't believe my hands are that masculine that they're still going to believe it's you. So you either admit that you buy this service in, and I don't think anyone's going to mind if you do buy it in, because to a certain extent that shows a willingness to spend their money, you know, that they give you on an extra service, or you just say it's your sister, your aunt, your mother, whoever. Because I am not removing my nails and trying to make my hands masculine. Anyway, one of my longest serving clients finds this quite funny whenever I get these requests. And she then linked and posted it in group, because we do have a group. I don't really do anything with it though. I should do more. I keep meaning to do more marketing videos for them, and I haven't done any for ages. Like before Christmas, because I think I just had a bit of a pandemic breakdown. Not really, just lost all motivation and drive, and I'm getting it back, but I'm getting it back through doing this crafting, not through my business, which sounds really bad because that actually pays some bills, not enough bills, or I wouldn't have to rent the room. Oh, let's hope that goes well and I don't have to pay to advertise it or get an agent in. Well, I'd like to get an agent in, but finding one that does. Turning it that way, because I'm thinking of covering this one as well. I'll just remember to go stripy. I don't know how much of this scrapbooks I managed to use up. Not a lot by the look of it. Now what you could do if you were going to make this more arty is obviously probably not do quite so much collage and add some toppers and things, but I am not doing arty. I am doing this sticker holder thingy. Sticker holder thingy, there's a good name. Sticker holder thingy. Wax paper on, because then the pages will not stick together. Wax paper underneath, that one down. So where this is stuck on here, it literally just peels away without damaging anything. And then book over to dry. Right, it's about an hour later. This obviously is curling, but it needs some heavy weights on it. But I thought we'd crack on anyway and just trim off these edges and add the plastic and just see how it all looks, and whether you can actually, because this is so bright, see the stickers for all the collaging, or whether I need to put more plain papers down. But if I do that, then I wouldn't be using scraps, and I'd rather use scraps. So I was thinking about maybe putting a piece of washi down this bit, because washi has a bit of give. I didn't want to stick paper down because paper doesn't have any give, whereas washi would have a bit of give, like putting material down, and I kind of wanted to do that. As you can see, I'm still yet to, where I didn't manage to glue the papers exactly together, there's edges that need trimming. But I might as well trim that at the same time as I trim any kind of thingy. So I was thinking about sticking just a piece of washi down the centre. But maybe if I'm putting plastic across, I want to do the washi afterwards. And maybe hide the plastic joins as well. Maybe. Anyway, so stickers. These are all now all over the place. These are actual stickers, and I thought even little cut out pieces I'll probably put in here, because I can't see me making many of these albums. So these are just some of the stickers. I'll probably keep finding them, but I thought if you find a tallish one, like the tallest, or one of the tallest, then you can measure the sort of size of the plastic you need against the sticker, because you want the plastic to cover it so it can't fall out. Well, it can fall out, but less likely to fall out. And I did find the, I hope that's still in shot, the album cover that I was looking for. So I just thought, cut a pocket. Sounds mad, but why not? And I could even use, because it's got this edge on one side, and then the only thing I have to worry about is this side. Although you could use doubles, because you don't need, it doesn't have to go into two bits of plastic. It could go against there and still slide out, so maybe actually you get more pockets from this. Anyway, I think if we cut at that hole roughly and then tidy it up afterwards, because I'm no good at cutting straight lines, and then try and get it vaguely straight with a trimmer, maybe, that'll work ish. That's kind of the theory I'm going on, because I haven't seen how you actually do this. I've seen people with the albums, but I didn't bother, I should have done, to Google up how do you do that. Obviously this is too long, so I'm going to get quite, once I get this cut out, and then makes a bit of a belly band. Once I get this cut out and then cut to length and then straightened up a bit. It's going to make quite a few of these little slip pockets. Just thrown it everywhere. I have to get the cutting board out in a minute and I've got no space. So I'm thinking this bit's nice and easy to put down now. And obviously you've got to have something on the base. Does that matter that it's not 100% straight? I don't suppose it does, because you can't really see it. I can't see it anyway with my eyesight. So maybe you just... Where do I want it? Have I got anything that's going to mark this? Just vaguely mark where I want it. Because you don't want it right up to the edge, do you? Maybe. So about there. And if I just cut inside that a little bit, that will give me the length, width and depth, isn't it really, rather than length. And then I was thinking just use double-sided tape and see how that works. And if that doesn't work very well, I'm assuming I'm going to be able to get into that. If it's all tacked down, can you still get into it? With difficulty. Maybe then don't tack it all the way down, just leave like a 3/4 or something so you can lift that a bit. I mean, it'll probably give over time, but that's okay. Think that might be what I do. So 3/4 is going to be, I mean, this is all a big experiment for me, this. It's about there. And going straight across, probably-ish, about there. Yeah, I think. Let's just see if this is going to work. I don't know if it is. This is all, like I say, a bit of an experiment. I want that side. So that is... I'm trying to work out which is the bottom, which is the top. You can't really see this probably. But I was going to go to about there. No further, no further. No. No. Oh, where's my little scissors? I don't want this sticky. Oh. Annoying. My inability with things like this is quite, it's going to become legendary, I think. Ooh. This is obviously going to show, so I suppose the reason you'd use washi on a bit of a lip is to cover up the plastic. Oh, I don't know though. How much does that show? Not really. Oh, let's have a look. Okay, I can pull that okay. You see it's tight there. Oh, that's where the thing is. Okay, that's fine. That's where the tape is. The tape's quite wide, isn't it? Duh. And then you just literally... Oh, how exciting is this? I'm going to have my own little sticker album. I might have to layer them on top of each other, but at the moment it doesn't matter that it's collaged in the background. And you can see the stickers. Oh, it's ridiculously exciting. I know that sounds a bit sad, but when they're in little tiny boxes, you can't see what you've got. Can't see if you like them. I'm not even sure I like these, but or where I'm going to use them. Probably journaling. Probably not junk journaling. I mean journaling. Probably my own journaling. I think I can get little ones. Have I got little ones in this bit? Sort of. Don't have many short ones here. They're all quite tall. Oh, look at that. Oh, happy days. Right, just continue down. So again, leave a small gap and then do another pocket. And then you might want to do, for bigger stickers, a big pocket, or you might want to continue doing mini stickers on one page and then decorate up another page and then do slightly bigger stickers. Sorry about the mess, but I just wanted to quickly come back on to show you the first double spread that's been done. So that's it. Now we need to collage this one, add the plastic pockets, add more stickers, and just keep going until I have a sticker display storage thingy.